My name is S.A. Ahmed. I'm an advocate practicing on the original side in Bombay High Court and in arbitration for the last so many years. Please allow me to introduce myself and my talks I have been giving for the last maybe 10-15 years. I started practice in 1975 in the chambers of Mr. R M Bapat, who was later on elevated to the High Court of Bombay and Andhra Pradesh. Now, I have been giving these talks on video conference for the last year and a half. Before that, I have given a number of talks on the science of argumentation and create powerful legal arguments, which are sister concepts, and in various bar associations in Bombay, Pune. I've also been involved to some extent in the training of junior judges at Uttan, at the Judges Training Institute, and I've also given talks in Yashada, which is a premier training institute for first-class officers in the Bombay High Court of the Maharashtra government. Now, these talks are centered around the process of argumentation, and I'm concentrating only on argumentation aspects, as different from law. For law, there will be any number of people, any number of professors who can give you a better knowledge and better training than what I can possibly give. But as far as process of argumentation is concerned, I must say there is very little research in this area. And I've been doing a lot of research in the last maybe 20 years or so, because ultimately argumentation is the arrowhead of practice. So these talks have been given for last so many years. Last 10 years of last year, at time of this COVID, all had time. So I started giving these talks on video conference. And I must say those who have come have benefited quite a bit from that. When I gave my talk at Pune Bar, Justice R M Bapat has this to say about my talk. Create powerful legal arguments is brilliantly researched and is an absolutely practical approach to argumentation. It will certainly enhance the quality and level of argumentation everywhere. Now, the general theme of these talks consists of three parts. The first is processing the material. The second is crystallizing the argument. And third is executing the argument. Of course, each is a notion in itself. But I'll just touch upon these topics just a bit, so you know exactly where you're going and what we are going to learn from these lectures on the YouTube. Processing the material includes the general structure of a legal case, the legal and factual matrix, analysis of the nature of the case, the analysis of cause of action, the structure and importance of framing the correct issues, conducting a propositional analysis, understanding the prior analysis, understanding the legal and factual contentions involved in the matter, and the connection of the facts to the contentions by process of reasoning, and so on. And there's so many other topics which I have not enumerated here. Second, crystallization of the arguments and sub-arguments includes a general understanding of the processes involved, detecting and understanding the axiomatic positions and creating arguments around the axiomatic positions, understanding the use of the law of precedents, crystallizing the argument in accordance with the conceptual basic rules of informal logic, understanding and detecting common fallacies, weaponizing the arguments, and so on. Executing the arguments, that is the third part, includes organization of material, judgments, etc., understanding the basic principles of communication, creating strategies and strategies for arguments, and also for refutation of the arguments of the other side, understanding the law of binding precedents, understanding the mind of the court, preparing a strategic master plan, using three vital tests before advancing the arguments, and so on. This is the outline of the three basic processes of my talks, and of course they tend to overlap, but that does not matter in the least, but as long as you get a better understanding of the arrowhead of practice, that is the argumentation skills. Now, I would like to say that there are no charges for these talks on video conference, and they're solely and entirely meant for sharing legal knowledge, disseminating legal knowledge as they call it, insights and argumentation skills. The only thing I expect from delegates is dedication, sincerity, and a firm ambition to dominate the bar. I expect to have by this year end at least 5 highly trained advocates in every district in Maharashtra and 2 in every taluka place. It's a great advantage to every one of us to have friends in various places so that all of us can benefit from specialized knowledge of others equally dedicated. The incredible intellectual power of our brain's trust cannot be estimated. The process of legal argumentation has always been and expect to be my favorite area of legal practice. And I have been doing research in argumentation for the last maybe 20 years or thereabout, on being encouraged by a very great lawyer who happened to be for a very short time the Advocate General of Maharashtra, and of course my friends at the bar and bench who have greatly encouraged me to go ahead in this, and it's got me tremendous advantage, intellectual advantage as well as financial advantage in court practice. And I, at this stage of my practice, that is almost 48 years I've finished in practice, I expect to share with you whatever I have learned, whatever little knowledge I can share with you, so as to give you a great advantage in court practice. I hope in these talks I live up to the advantage, I live up to the expectations of Mr. R M Bapat, Judge of Bombay Court, now retired, when he said that it's going to raise the level of argumentation everywhere. Now, I would like to also tell you that I also conducted 12 talks in this series on cross-examination, and also a series of talks on what is good judgment, because without understanding a good judgment, it is not possible to draft out and execute a proper appeal or a writ. I must just touch upon this, what I did in cross-examination. It consists of 5 areas: introduction of cross-examination, its definition, its purpose and general methodology, and importantly, the golden rule of cross-examination. Second, some basic concepts relating to cross-examination, including the structure of the case, meaning of proof, evidence, corroboration, presumptions, etc. Third, what admissions we are after and why. In some depth, techniques of how to get those admissions, and finally, conclusion and the manner of appreciating and appraising the evidence obtained during cross-examination. So all these are areas which I have touched in the last so many sessions, and I have finished 100 sessions on the video conference, and now I expect to share this on YouTube. I've been getting a lot of requests of my friends to put this on YouTube, and I think I should make a start somewhere. I must at this point say that a little about myself. The idea is not to praise myself, but the idea is so that you listen to me. I started practice in 1975 in Bombay High Court, actually at the Pune Bar, and thereafter, after 4 years, I joined the judiciary. I was there for 8 years as civil judge. Thereafter, I got a very good position in litigation practice in Bombay, joining a small firm. And after the number of years, I am working in the Bombay High Court. I topped in the university once. I also topped in MPSC in the judicial exam in the year 1980. And I must say that there's nothing so exciting in legal practice as it is in litigation. Other things have their own excitements, but when there's a contest, it is exciting. And the arrowhead of practice, I think, is argumentation. And I expect to, I should think, train as many people as possible in the concepts of the science of argumentation, and more particularly in creating powerful legal arguments. Thank you very much. Please, every week I intend to give you some sort of talk, small talk, so that you get into the stream. And I would say that if you come to my talks, the additional advantage is that you'll have a number of contacts automatically, because people who are really dedicated will only come for the talks. People who are not really dedicated will go onto the YouTube and listen to it, of course. But people who are really dedicated will come to talks, interact with others, and get their contacts and advance the practice far quicker than before. Thank you very much, and see you in the YouTube and in my talks. If you can join them, I'll be most happy. And if I can even give you some advantage in the legal practice, I'll be most happy. I'm happy to see that these concepts work, and I know these concepts work. And as they say, If you use even some of these concepts, it will make a big difference to your practice. And if you use all the concepts, the results will be explosive. Thank you very much.